Hello ladies and gentlemen, you're watching NDTV. At the center of the political storm surrounding the irregularities in the NEET examination, Education Minister Dharmendra Pradhan faced NEET slogans raised by opposition MPs as he took oath as MP in the Lok Sabha today that convened for the first time, the 18th Lok Sabha that met for the first time after polls. Now visuals of the House proceedings show Mr. Pradhan walking towards the Lok Sabha podium in the midst of slogans of NEET and shame from the opposition benches. Now protests are being held in various parts of the country after the NEET UG exam results declared on the 4th of June threw up some shocking discrepancies. In fact, the centre has now ordered a CBI probe into the matter. In the midst of all this public outcry, at least 3 national-level competitive examinations have either been scrapped or postponed. Now, Education Ministry officials have said that the opposition is politicizing an issue that is sensitive and a matter that the government has been most mindful of. 3 important steps have been taken by the centre in the last few days to bolster its claims that it is actually very serious about the future of the students. The chief of the NTA, the National Testing Agency that conducts NEET, has been sacked. A high-level committee has been put in place. In fact, the ministry is saying that it is hopeful of putting in place all necessary reforms in the NTA by the end of this year. This is a localized problem and the government is looking for far-sighted solutions. A complete crackdown on the exam mafia. This is what the government's narrative is. This is what the government's defense is, even as the opposition is looking at this issue as potential ammunition to boost its resurgent role in the parliament. So how will the NEET issue resonate in the parliament? It's the same government, same opposition, but of course the numbers differ this time. How will the opposition versus government over NEET play out in the parliament? That's what we'll try and decode tonight. Here's a special report on what really happened in the parliament today over NEET.
The NEET probe net is widening fast. After Jharkhand's Hazaribagh and Ranchi, one teacher has been nabbed in the NEET paper leak case in Latur. This is the first arrest from Maharashtra. 4 people have been booked in the state so far.
A Zilla Parishad teacher, Jalil Patan, has been arrested in Latur. In fact, the police has found some incriminating evidence, including photographs of hall tickets of candidates, suspicious WhatsApp conversations and online financial transactions. In fact, among those booked is a Delhi-based individual who is believed to be a mastermind in this case.
In Gujarat and Bihar, the CBI has officially taken over the investigation of this case. A CBI probe team is camping in Godhra in Gujarat to take the probe further. A team in Bihar's Nevada faced the ire of locals on Sunday while investigating the matter. Even as the CBI begins its investigation across multiple states, it will merge all existing FIRs into one, picking up where the state investigating agencies left off.
In the states like Bihar and Jharkhand, it is almost confirmed that question paper leak did happen, and it is being confirmed by many, while many other states still remain in denial. In an exclusive, NDTV did catch up with the principal of the school in Hazaribagh, who confirmed that the question paper packaging was tampered with.
अब जो OU की टीमें थे, उनका ये कहना था कि इस आंसर बुकलेट के यहाँ पे, ये इस साइड में कहीं से टेम्परिंग था और उसको बढ़िया से ग्लू से किसी ने पेस्ट कर दिया था, जो कि कॉमन लोगों के बस की बात नहीं है.
ये किसी प्रोफेशनल ने किया था.
हाँ, ये ऑब्वियसली किसी हाईली प्रोफेशनल ने किया होगा, क्योंकि जब हमने बताया ना, इसे उखाड़ भी नहीं सकते, ये सेल्फ एडेसिव से होता है, इसे हटा भी नहीं सकते, इसे कैंची से कट करना पड़ता है, ये प्रैक्टिस होती है. अब इस साइड किसी का ध्यान गया नहीं कि ये क्या हुआ और किस तरह से बारीकी से कट करके कुछ किया हुआ था और फिर अल्टीमेटली उसको एडेसिव से पेस्ट भी किया गया था.
Even as the probe across states got pace, protests over both the NTA mess and the NEET paper leak continued.
So right now with these delays, like for example the PG examination and with the undergraduate examination, the whole paper leak scenario, all of these students are now concerned with the delays in not just examinations but their careers, because there's a huge question mark now as to what next, whether there'll be a re-exam or whether for the PG students, when will the exam be? The dates have not been announced yet. So the students are in a limbo-like situation right now.
Bureau Report, NDTV.
संविधान के लीरे लीरा उड़ा दिए गए थे, देश को जेल खाना बना दिया गया था, लोकतंत्र को पूरी तरह दबोच दिया गया था। इमरजेंसी के ये 50 साल इस संकल्प के हैं कि हम गौरव के साथ हमारे संविधान की रक्षा करते हुए भारत के लोकतंत्र, लोकतांत्रिक परंपराओं की रक्षा करते हुए देशवासी संकल्प लेंगे कि भारत में फिर कभी कोई ऐसी हिम्मत नहीं करेगा जो 50 साल पहले की गई थी।
क्योंकि देखिए जो आक्रमण प्रधानमंत्री जी अमित शाह जी कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन पर, संविधान पे कर रहे हैं, वो हमारे लिए एक्सेप्टेबल नहीं है, वो हम होने नहीं देंगे। इसीलिए हमने कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन ओथ लेते हुए हमने कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन पकड़ा था। हमारा संदेश जा रहा है, हिंदुस्तान के कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन को कोई शक्ति नहीं छू सकती है। धन्यवाद।
Also joining me now is Charu Pragya of the BJP, Anshul Avijit of the Congress Party. We also have Sujata Rao, former Health Secretary, and Sajjan Kumar, political analyst. Thank you all of you for joining me on this show. Starting with you, Charu, when Mr. Pradhan was taking the oath today, the opposition was shouting neat and shame. Of course, Mr. Pradhan is not a rookie. He's been a politician for decades, and the Education Ministry, as a reporter, has been telling me and couple other reporters that it has nothing to hide. And but it has been less than fortnight that the government actually took charge. Although the Education Ministry was with Mr. Pradhan for the last couple of years, do you think that the Treasury benches over the next few days has to rework a lot of strategy? It has a lot of convincing to do when it comes to controversy over examinations.
Asudha, good evening. The problem with the Indian opposition is that they're always looking for a chink to exploit. And unfortunately, the NEET paper leak has become one such chink. It is something which has been owned up by the government of India, and our Honorable Education Minister took a press conference very politely, if I may add, and answered humbly every single question posed to him by all the journalists, all the reporters present, which is unlike the Congress party, because last time Rahul Gandhi took a press conference and faced a difficult question, he labeled the reporter as BJP ka agent. But moving on from there, one, responsibility has been fixed. In fact, the Education Minister himself has taken responsibility of not just fixing the particular issue which has happened recently, but also fixing all the loopholes that exist in our education system when it comes to entrance examinations. The second thing is we have ourselves asked for a probe by the CBI into one of our own departments. And that proves our bona fide. We have nothing to hide. Let an independent agency investigate this and heads will roll wherever required. They have in fact started rolling. The NTA DG has already been removed from his position. NTA is being investigated thoroughly. Exams which could have been compromised have already been cancelled. Let's also remember the Supreme Court has matters pending in this regard, and we have to wait for what the Supreme Court says. On the 8th, we will know more. We are just waiting and watching for that. But this nexus that exists for ensuring a smooth procession for those people who can pay for an examination paper beforehand has been there for a very long time. And even though it has taken time, we are very, very devoted to weeding out this entire process. Very quickly, let me run you through some dots that I would like our viewers to join. RJD is known for ghotalas, not just Chara Ghotala, most recently Sipai Bharti Ghotala, where they in fact lathi charged the protesters in Bihar, and most recently in Tejasvi Yadav's own office, his own PA was the one who was found calling the guest house to book rooms for those who aided in this cheating. In fact, just today, 6 accused have been arrested from Congress's office in Deoghar in Jharkhand. Congress's office. So they found that to be a safe hiding place.
Okay, Anshul, Charu is making some important points here, but a lot of experts, including, some that we know and admire, have said that this is also the time to rise above bipartisan politics, although I believe that the Congress party is actually doing the right thing by, taking up issues of the youth, and exam leaks has been a problem, a concern for youngsters. How do you see this? How do you see the constructive role of opposition sort of, evolving? Because, we are also talking about solutions here, and what would you have to say to Charu, with respect to these allegations that the BJP has been raising about the opposition's involvement in some of the NEET scam cases?
No, but what about the actually the Treasury bench's role in what has happened? What about trust and transparency? I mean, on one hand, the Honorable Education Minister says that there's a high-powered committee, but on the other hand, the chairman of the National Testing Agency continues to make appointments while the controversy is raging. We know that the exam process, the entire system has been rotted to the core. It's been 10 years since they've taken up this matter. It's rotten to the core. There've been a series of irregularities, notwithstanding this examination from, where the exams were held to the point where the marks were given, the discrepancies in the marks, and in the manner in which the national testing agencies try to cover up their mistakes by advancing the date of the declaration. There's complete complicity on the part of the administration. Now, if you talk about a high-powered agency to look into the probe, then you have to dismiss the chairman of the agency itself.
Yeah.
You have to show trust and transparency. Look, the problem is about taking the youth of this country to hostage. What is a demographic dividend has turned into a demographic disaster because all the hopes and aspirations of the youth of this country have been taken for a ride by this government. Manufacturing is completely dead. They have no avenues for employment here. Agniveer scheme is a complete disaster. This is another point we're going to raise in the upcoming session of Parliament. And the system that actually guarantees, doctors coming out and educationalists and academics has been, felled, it's
Right.
rotten to the core. It's completely corrupted.
Right.
So there is no opportunities in this country. On
Okay,
the other hand, the
before I
economy
go
is
to
completely
Sujata
wrecked.
Rao and also Sajjan Kumar, Charu, quickly a response to what Mr. Anshul is also saying, because clearly the NTA also held a press conference. I remember attending it, where there was complete dismissal of any allegations of paper leak, and of course then all these evidence really tumbled out from different states. So clearly, do you think that in terms of confidence building, the ministry or the government did in the beginning weeks, and of course a lot of corrective actions are being taken place, but of course trust also develops over time, isn't it?
Vasudha, yes, that is unfortunate, but any statement that was made by the ministry was made in good faith, and there is nobody trying to shield any culprit or any system which has gone wrong. And I think that is where we build confidence amongst the students. Let me also just quickly take a second here to say that we have actually passed a law in February to prevent situations like this, the Public Examinations Bill, to prevent unfair practices. It has now been notified, it is now a law, and it has very strict and strong punishment for those who indulge in such activities. In contrast to what happened when Samajwadi Party was in power in Uttar Pradesh, where the Anti-Copying Act was actually taken back by Mulayam Sarkar. In
Right.
fact, these questions need to be asked to the opposition because they have aided and abetted cheating at a institutional level for a very long time. So not
Absolutely.
just
Let me bring in Sujata Rao here.
Let me quickly take the name of Misa Bharti also. Can somebody please tell me how did Misa Bharti become not just a doctor but a topper and supported by the very same family whose PA has been caught in this scam today red-handed?
Okay. Sujata Rao, couple of things that the Education Ministry has communicated, that the NTA was pulled up because there was never a tradition of giving grace marks in NEET examination. In fact, what we understand is that the NTA, when asked for an explanation, cited the example of CLAT. There is a committee of acclaimed professionals that has been put in place. They will submit the report by August. And then, of course, the rules of prevention of unfair means in exam bill that Charu is talking about. What more does the government need to do? Because clearly there is a crisis of confidence because at least 3 examinations have been postponed.
The crisis is so deep. I've never come across an instance where there's a countrywide anguish from the students against a NEET exam. So, this has been, I think it has come to a point where the students can't take this leakage problem anymore. It might have been there before. I'm not alleging it's happened only now. It might have been there, but it has now come to the tipping point where students really, really are agitated. And one of the most important things for government is to restore the trust and the confidence. And so, therefore, I would really, and the whole grace mark issue, 67 students getting perfect scores. This leaves a very, raises a lot of doubts. And as you can see, the reports increasingly are coming from not just Bihar, but that it's an interstate problem. 5, 6, 7 states have got this issue. So how do you really order a retest only for 1,550 students? How do you know they're not 3,000 students? How do you know cheating hasn't been done by 10,000 students? So my strong recommendation is that to restore faith and confidence, it's a harsh measure because the students have to study again, but a retest must be done for all of them, and this time do it so well that there is no question of leakage. This must be done, and the government must say that we are still in charge and we are capable of running a test without any problems. It's very important to restore student confidence.
Right, that's
and
very important.
Business of just taking a few students who have been given some grace marks without any transparency, making them go through a retest. And the farce is that half of them don't appear, and there's one student in Gujarat only. I mean, the whole thing seems rather strange to me.
Absolutely.
And I
Sajjan
really
Kumar,
recommend
that's
that
a very
retest
important
should be
point that Sujata ma'am is making, and I remember talking to you about this. So even as the centre is trying to project its efforts as proactive, and I'm sure there is a lot of intent to this because no government, be it Congress or BJP, wants paper leaks, right? Because it concerns youths. Now, there have been findings from the states of Bihar, Gujarat, Haryana and even Jharkhand, and of course speculations of paper leak have only grown since then. Of course the matter is in the court right now, but when it comes to a situation like this, what is a politically wise situation? What is a politically wise solution for any party? Is there, I mean, would a quick announcement of a retest, would that have salvaged the situation like Sujata ma'am is saying? Is that the best way to go forward? Sajjan, you'll have to unmute
Precisely. Yeah. Precisely, this crisis has three aspects. One is about the nature of the crisis, which is structural, which cut across all the parties. It has happened in the past. It has happened in a lot of states under different parties. So therefore, it's a structural problem. As the exam mafia, paper leak mafia operates in a very granular, entrenched way. But then the policy response certainly is to go for the kind of a corrective measures, not one of the major. That's there. But then there is also a kind of the perception. Who is your referent? I mean, it's not about the BJP versus opposition, BJP versus Congress. Your referent should be the students who participated in the exam. Now, if those referent, the students, they have a sense of being wronged, if they do not have the kind of confidence, then certainly for BJP at this juncture, because they are the ruling party, they have the mandate. They need to take the students' perception on the ground into consideration. That should be the central concern. So the mode of making it one party versus the other, pointing out that it happened in the previous government also. I think the referent, the students who are the youth, and mind it, these are the youths who have been the passion of BJP. They were the one 2014 brought the entire Modi discourse, which is still the dominant discourse, into centrality. So certainly I think for BJP, rather than going for a technocratic explanation, which is with a well intention, where I think they are not doing enough is not winning the confidence of the students who should be the actual reference points. And that is where the right way as of now would be, because this is a question which baffles a lot of us who have been on the ground talking to lots many of the stakeholders, that if many other examination can be cancelled, what is preventing the decision to go for a retest for the NEET? And that is why I think the government needs to be more sensitive about the kind of a perception, because mind it, policy needs to align with the perception of the ones who are the stakeholder here in the system.
But Sajjan, I was also, I have a niece who has taken this NEET examination and she is in Bengaluru, and she is really anxious. She doesn't want to give the retest again because she's saying that there is nothing like this that has happened in the south of India. So, Charu, there is of course a difference between a political solution and a technocratic solution. What do you think would be the best way forward? And also you were talking about this important bill. Do you think a stringent law that of course has been enacted by the Centre will come into force very soon? In fact, the rules are going to be notified soon is what ministry officials are saying, and the penalties could include up to 10 years of imprisonment and fines up to 1 crore is what the bill says. How do you think that is going to change the situation? Because often we've seen that tougher laws also don't really lead to proper implementation or in fact a crackdown on crimes.
No, Vasudha, in fact, on the contrary, I would like to believe the opposite. When your laws are strict, those who are a part of a nexus and a racket such as this are one, afraid for the future, and two, once they are caught, that entire nexus is going to break because hopefully they will be behind bars. Of course, I am saying everything with a lot of responsibility and understanding because we have lakhs of students who are appearing for very few seats. So let's be very practical when we discuss certain things, and I'm going to be very non-political when I explain this. So if 24 lakh students register for the NEET examination, the fact is we have 1 lakh seats for medical students in this country. Those 1 lakh seats also, let me remind you, are fairly new because it is Modi government which made 315 new medical colleges. So go back to 5, 7, 10 years ago when the seats were not even this many. So the competition to succeed is extremely high, and it is accompanied with a lot of pressure on every single student. So much pressure that unfortunately, usually when we have been discussing NEET in the past, it is linked to a student suicide. And that is painful. It's beyond painful. That was one of the reasons why these examinations have been changed slightly by the government of India, why the syllabus has been made easier, why the entire examination process has been gotten to a platform where every child can compete at an equal level, even if that person doesn't have access to a coaching center.
Right.
So a lot of things have been kept in mind, and I'm very hopeful that all these loopholes are going to be plugged and culprits are going to be punished.
Absolutely. Anshul, you just fought an election from Bihar. 17 candidates from Bihar have been debarred for malpractices during examinations, 30 of them from Gujarat. When the government says it's a localized problem, of course, I don't agree with it, but there seem to be pockets operating at various places. A centralized crackdown might help. And for that, maybe political parties will have to rise above by, their partisan sort of politics also. Would the Congress party be okay with that kind of view, sir?
No, I mean, it's a national problem. When institutions are corrupted, and that too institutions which produce doctors and educationalists, then it doesn't become a kind of a party problem. We are raising the issue in the parliament. Where else are we supposed to raise it? We're going to raise the Agniveer issue in the parliament, the unemployment and the wrecked economy issue in the parliament, and every other issue, the lack of joblessness. Every single issue will be raised. It's not that it's become politicized. Look, despite Charu's brave defense of this government, it's been 10 years since they've been in government. They've corrupted and subverted the system to the extent in which the youth of this country feel a sense of complete and utter hopelessness. Right. Where is this going to lead to? There is no job opportunities. In the only one you had, you've corrupted it. So what are you going to answer to them? I mean, you have to answer to the people, to the young of this country, this grand thing called the demographic dividend, which you've completely wrecked and thrown under the bus. You created a generation of people who feel utterly hopeless about the future. So it's them you're trying to convince. It's not about political parties. We are going to take up the cause in whichever platform and wherever necessary. And the government should first of all will take immediate action. There has to be an inquiry. This high-level eyewash is not an inquiry. We all know where that's going to lead to. You know better than I.
Absolutely.
It's not going to lead up anywhere.
Last word from Sujata ma'am. Something that Charu mentioned, very important, 24 lakh students competing for 1 lakh seats, of which only 50,000 are in government institutions. This is also a crisis, this balance between career aspirations and actually the reality. What should political parties, governments need to do to answer to address something like this? Because clearly this is a matter that's beyond need, and there is a lot of prestige, there's a lot of value to medical seats in the country. What does the government need to think about right now?
No, I think, it's not a question of 24 lakh students are taking exam for 1 lakh seats. That's a kind of competition. You heard about the railway jobs. You announce anything, you will be having lakhs of people applying for it. More than 10, 20 lakhs apply for, 100 IAS posts, 600 central services posts. But how many people take the exam? More than 10 lakhs. So that's not an argument at all, which I think is important. What my request is that they should go above politics. Honestly, it is not anyone's case that BJP, the Prime Minister sat down and did the leakage. That's not the case. It has happened. It should be admitted that it has happened, and think of it only from the student's point of view and from the trust point of view. It is not. It is a duty, of course, the opposition to hold the government accountable. It is for the government to then say, let's make it. It's for us to sit down. It's our children, and there must be trust in the system. Today, BJP is there. Tomorrow, Congress will be there. Right. So it has to be sometimes an issue. It shouldn't immediately become an ego issue. that, it's ours and Congress did this. And so how does it matter to a student today what Congress did sometime in 1950,
Right.
That's not an answer to the situation. I think it's so serious that really some sensitivity is required to say, we will be fair on this issue and we want everyone to cooperate with us and to resolve it rather than making it a political issue. I really find that all very disturbing.
Right. And of course, the last word from Sajan. Any closing remarks on this very quickly?
Yeah, certainly, as I said, I mean, there are certain moments wherein the reference should be the ones who are the stakeholders. It's a question about the youths, and mind it, at this juncture, when you are thinking about youth as a demographic dividend.
Right.
So exams and the corruption there in that, I mean, it's a question of the legitimacy, and I think incumbents should be a bit more sincere and more for the justice should also seem to be doing, and that is why I think it is a time wherein the perception war needs to be won, not just the technocratic defense, which as of now seems to be the case, particularly in the matter of the NEET.
Thank you so much, all of you, for joining me on this show. Clearly, how NEET plays out politically, how it manages to resonate in the parliament is something that we'll have to see in the next few days, even as Lok Sabha sits for at least 7 more sittings.